Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you a really quick little trick that I use to get my birds to eat really good food. So I advocate this fresh food diet. It's called our natural feeding system because it changes with the seasons. So this is my cookbook. It's for parrots. It has over 80 recipes and teaches you how to feed your bird properly. So a lot of my recipes are based on the seasons, winter to spring, fall to winter, summer, etc. And what these look like is a very, very healthy mix of food, which is basically here on the front. So this is what it looks like when I bag it. I make a lot at a time and I freeze it in certain portions and then I thaw it as needed. So I've thawed 2 bags. And my trick to getting my birds to eat all this is that, first of all, everything is very finely chopped in a food processor, so they can't pick out anything. It's really hard for them to pick out stuff because it is made so fine and small. Next, I take a sweet potato or a yam and I slice it. I'm going to show you what it looks like because I have one that I recently made. They start out like that. I slice them down the sides with a knife. I then wrap them in a paper towel and I put them in the microwave until they're soft. So as long as I can push all around and it's nice and soft, I know it's done, and I stick it in the fridge to cool down so that I can then use it that very morning. So this is one of the ones I've made, and then the next thing I do is I mash it up, which is why I steamed it in the first place, to make it really soft. Also, steaming doesn't lose as much of the nutritional value as other methods. So I mash it up really, really good. Whoa, which is really hard with one hand. And I try to make it so that the chunks are fairly small. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that real quick. Set you guys down. So make sure you mash this really, really good. You don't want giant chunks by any means, because you want to be able to mix it with the fresh food and not have your bird just get a whopping chunk of sweet potato, because I know my birds would choose eating all sweet potato instead of their veggies if I let them. So very important not to let them. All right. Whoa. The next thing I do is I take my veggie mix, which has more than just veggies, but here we go, depending on what recipe you made, and I'm going to incorporate it in and mix it really well. As you can see, after mixing, it looks like there's probably more sweet potato than veggies, which is why I thawed 2 bags of veggies. So I'm gonna go ahead and add the other bag right now. As you can see now, with 2 bags mixed in, it's really hard to tell if it's mostly sweet potato or if it's mostly veggies. I want it to mostly be veggies so that when they take a good bite, they're getting everything in that bite. So as you can see, if I lift a little up, you can see that there's sweet potato in there, just enough to entice them to eat the rest of the stuff. You can do this with anything that's the same texture as a steamed sweet potato. So you could do it with carrots, you could do it with even pureeing spinach. Anything that your bird kind of shows interest in, even green peas. Some birds really like sugary stuff like fruit. You could do it with fruit, but just keep in mind you're kind of overloading the system with sugar. So you will definitely want to wean back of the fruit, but you could entice it with a little bit of fruit just to get that picky eater over. As you can see with our seasonal feeding system, it changes color based on the season. When we start incorporating beets or things that really dye the mixture, it'll change the flavor as well. So definitely use those types of things that will entice your picky eating parrot. Now I'm gonna go give this to my guys and let you see how they dig in. Another favorite for my flock is doing this with hard-boiled eggs. So you do it the same way. You'd prepare the hard-boiled egg. You can even incorporate some of the shell. You would mash them up really good and then mix in the fresh veggies in the mix. Now that our conures are back, it's a lot louder in here. I'm also doing breakfast, so everybody's anxious to get breakfast. First thing I do is I remove dirty dishes. Just my stack of dirty dishes that I'll bring into the house. So I keep all my clean dishes in here as well. And and I basically just go through and I do fresh water and fresh food for everybody. Here's Jinxie eating his breakfast. Here's the Conures eating theirs. Can't really get a good view. Kind of. I'm gonna show you how everybody did on their breakfast. Look at those full crops. Look how full you cuties are. Yeah. Hey, Cressi. So, Cressi did amazing. Nothing left. Bubba, let's see how you did. Oh, Jinxie cleaned his bowl as well. Hey, Bandit. And here's Comet. How did you do, bud? Tiny bit left. Yeah, tiny bit. And TUSA. Tiny bit left.